All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for supporting the Montessori Monster. This is a book review of a book called The Three Questions by Jon Muth, and I really enjoy it. It is one that I like to read with children almost every year, and it is pretty great for maybe 5 to 9 year olds, something like that. Of course, depending on the child. But you know, my classroom is first through third grade, so it's a great one. And it is an adaptation of a Leo Tolstoy story, and basically, quick summary of the book is that there's a boy who's sort of doing some deep thinking, and he sort of puts things off and kind of maybe overthinks a little bit, worries some, and he ends up saving a baby panda from a storm, or maybe right after a storm, and gets the baby panda back to its mother. And he kind of comes to learn about these three questions that are so vital and important to people. And the three questions are, one, when is the best time to do things? Two, who is the most important person? And three, what is the right thing to do? Well, when is the best time to do things? Now. Not always easy to do, right? It's not always easy to do. We all probably struggle with that to some degree, but it's good for children to start thinking about that really they kind of make more work for themselves. We all do if we put things off. And it's a lot easier emotionally, and often a lot easier physically, to just do our work as soon as we can. Get it off our table, out of our inbox, and just confront our challenges. It's a tough lesson. I don't know if my students really believe that, but I want them to hear it and have an option to maybe believe it, or maybe over time, or maybe it's the sort of thing that they don't really realize until they're much older. So right now is the best time to do things. If you're watching this video, now is the time. Now is the time to learn from the video. Support this channel. But learn from the video and be present. Don't worry about the next video, what you're doing next, or anything else. Try to be focused on learning new things. Two, who is the most important person? This one feels a little controversial. I don't know. I'm not sure everybody would agree with this one, but according to the book, the most important person is the one you're with. That reminds me of that old Crosby, Stills and Nash song, "Love the One You're With," is the line. But the most important person is the one you're with right now. It's not very productive to be always thinking, gosh, I wish I was with this friend, or I wish I was with my mom or dad, or my sibling, or what, grandparents, or whatever. Like, it's natural to do that. I do that. We all do that. But to try to be focused on the person or people you're with at the moment, because they're pretty great, and you can learn things from them, and you can value that experience, and together you can make a wonderful experience with the people you're with. That's a great thing for young children to learn about school. Yeah, they maybe miss their mom some, or they don't always feel like being at school. But wow, isn't it amazing to be in a social learning environment and be learning all these things, and to be building relationships with people that we can hold on to for many, many years, and sometimes even a lifetime. So the most important person are the ones you're with right now. And then what is the right thing to do? That one's a little bit more vague in a way, but if you kind of slow down and think carefully about what is the right thing to do in a certain circumstance, hopefully you can really make good decisions most of the time. And even when you make wrong decisions, if you want to call them that, it's usually okay if you learn from those mistakes. Now, if you're not learning from your mistakes, then you don't really better yourself as a human. Or if you deny that you make mistakes, or you're resistant to that idea, your growth rate is going to be slowed. It's really important to have a growth mindset and to be open to the idea that you don't always know the right thing to do, but you often can kind of lean a certain way or have a pretty good educated guess about the right thing to do. Now, children are learning all these things, so, that's a huge part of what they're doing in school and with play dates and everything, figuring out what's the right thing to do. Sometimes it's not as intuitive as we might think as adults. So we want to teach these skills and explain things and have great discussions with children. So, if you know the right thing to do, then do that. Always try to do the right thing is maybe another way to say it. Know that we're not perfect. Don't beat yourself up when you make mistakes. Just learn from them. That's fine. But try whatever you think is the right thing to do is almost always is the right thing to do. You're probably going to be right about it a huge majority of the time. So sort of trust yourself and do the right thing anyway. So combining those three ideas, Tolstoy and via Jon Muth, kind of teach us and our children in our lives to focus on those things a little bit more. And we just do our best with them. And this book is great at it. It's, about 30 pages long. The watercolor artwork in the book is outstanding. It's really nice. It's kind of the kind of book that you maybe want to really slow down with and talk about mid-book. Maybe that's not your style and you want to talk about it at the end. That's fine too. And it's definitely the kind of book that you want to reread. It's okay to reread that with children, for sure, for them to kind of remind themselves of that. Because children can be like us. They're thinking about the next thing. You're maybe right now thinking about, well, what am I going to watch next on YouTube? Or what am I going to do next? Or what am I making for dinner? Or what's my work day look like tomorrow and stuff? Again, very natural. I do it too. But if we can live in the moment, it's a pretty powerful thing. And we actually can get a lot more value out of our lives if we do that, instead of always being sort of having our mindset in the next thing, not appreciating the moment, who we're with, and doing the right thing. Highly recommend this book. I have kind of no issue with this book. And I'd say, again, if you have a child or children between the ages of roughly 5 through 9, maybe a little bit beyond that range, but it's a slam dunk of a book. Highly recommend. Great artwork and obviously a great message to be teaching. Thank you everybody for watching. Love all the support. Thank you so much. Until next time.